like to request you to take the podium and share some last words for us, a farewell note to us, if you will. Thank you.
Excellency, High Commissioner for Malaysia in Bangladesh, thank you for the honor of gracing this occasion. Rajiv, colleagues from Robi and some past friends, colleagues from E.co, thank you very much for gathering here to honor me. It's really humbling, so thank you very much. As I said, Rajiv pulled a googly, telling me it's an informal gathering, and then... Okay, sorry, my apologies, Excellency Virat Kohli, High Commissioner for Sri Lanka in Bangladesh. Sorry, Excellency, I didn't know you were in the room. Yes, thanks. So again, thank you for questions. So Rajiv pulled a googly, as I said, and you know, I would have made a fuss if I knew he was arranging all this. But once I'm here, it's really nice to be with all of you and enjoy a short fellowship. So as I recall, I have been on the board of Robi in 2 innings, using cricketing terms. I was, I think, on the board from 2004 or so, and then again 2016 up to now. And these years have been extremely enjoyable, extremely fulfilling, because Robi and the Robi team has always been a team which took on challenges, looked at targets which were audacious, ambitious, and continued to achieve them. The Robi team has also been filled with the humility that you require to keep achieving. Because if you lose humility along the way, you lose your way, you lose your focus, and that is something which Robi never did. Robi was always very, very focused. And when I say Robi, it means 1,000+ people. And it also means the leaders who have taken Robi through each and every chapter of its journey. And today, we have Rajiv, who over the last 2 years has scored many victories, has brought a major turnaround in the fortunes of Robi and its growth trajectory. And before Rajiv, we had Riaz, who held the ship and steered it through a very, very challenging period of the company. And of course, prior to that, we had many, many leaders who built brick by brick the success and strength of Robi. But as I said during the chat also, that the people of Bangladesh, the innate strengths, both in the analytical as well as technology areas, but also in the emotive areas of marketing, of customer experience, of looking after the customers, caring, and building a very strong brand. All these strengths coming together are epitomized inside this company. And while there's a strong support and guidance from a parent, Axiata, and previously Telecom Malaysia, I think Robi on its own is a world champion. Robi on its own is a company which Bangladesh can be extremely proud of, and certainly the Axiata Group is very, very proud of. Going forward, I feel opportunity is always there. It's about how you approach it, how you see that opportunity presenting itself in a form which you can grab. It's very easy to look at an opportunity and not even see it as an opportunity, to think, this is not for me, this is impossible for me. In our personal lives, we face that. In business, we see that very often. But I think it's about having the confidence to push away all your assumptions of the past. And it's very difficult. As human beings, we think a lot about the past and build the future on the past. But sometimes you have to really break down your assumptions and look at the opportunity in front of you as if you're seeing it for the first time. And that's an exercise I have recommended to all my colleagues to carry out from time to time. And in business, the most fundamental way of doing that is to ask yourself, what business are we in? So if I was to just answer that on your behalf, you'll say, I'm in the business of mobile telephony. But if you break down even that assumption and reinvent yourself day by day, I think your perspective and your ambition and what you can achieve expands immensely. I must have shared this story with my Robi colleagues, but I'll never repeat it because I really enjoy repeating this story. And that is a story that I read when I was doing my MBA many, many years ago. And that's probably the only thing I remember from my MBA. And that was the story of Parker, the pen company. So the story goes that Parker was doing it. I think it's half true, or maybe it's all true, I don't know. But still, it's a very meaningful story, at least for me. Parker was doing badly, and sales were dropping. So the CEO got fired, as normally happens, and a new CEO comes in. The new CEO comes in from a completely different industry. So he calls in all his directors from across the United States, puts them in a room and says, look, I am from a different industry. I don't know this business. Right? I have been recruited. I'm here. I'm very happy to be with you. So can you please help me and tell me what business are we in? And he gave everyone a Post-it and asked them, write down what you think, what business are we in? I want to know. So the answers all came in, and most of them were, we are in the business of quality writing instruments. We are in the business of exclusive writing instruments, long-lasting, reliable, etc., etc., etc. All about writing instruments or pens or something like that. And the story goes that there was one Post-it which said, we are in the business of producing gifts. Right? We are in the gift business. And that opened the discussion. So he said, why did you say that? And then the discussion went on, that they were actually not in the business of pens, but in the business of gifts. Now, what does that do to your mind? Because how often do you buy a pen, an expensive pen? Yeah, for yourself. And unless you habitually lose your pens, you don't buy pens that often. But how many times do you buy a gift? Many times. Therefore, the market size for the company suddenly, and in the minds of the people in that room, the market size expanded very suddenly. Because now they're fighting in a market which has a much higher throughput of purchasing instances. But likewise, the number of competitors also increased suddenly, because it was now not only the Sheffers and Watermans and Cross and whatever else. Now competition included the necktie manufacturers, the Pierre Cardins, the perfumes, and so on. So the moral of the story there is that by asking this question all the time, you get a new perspective of the size of the market that you can attack but it also makes you aware that there are competitors around who don't look like competitors today, but in actual fact, they are competitors. And I think in our industry, we learn this the hard way. The OTTs, the Facebooks, Googles, internet companies, the media companies. Take, for instance, if we had seen some of these media companies as our competitor 10 years ago or 15 years ago, maybe we would have done things slightly differently. And maybe we would have come to the realization that our real competition is not the other mobile networks in the market, that the real competition that's taking away revenues or taking away profits from us are completely different. So my message to my Robi colleagues who have or have not heard that story before from me is that open your mind. And we have to be always reminded of that. Keep opening your mind, reinventing yourself, and reinventing the company. Because you apply that same, what business am I in, to yourself. You might feel like reinventing yourself because you suddenly wake up and feel, I'm much bigger than what I thought I was. I have more capabilities and I can do much more. And that reinvention of yourself will reinvent the company day by day. And that is what I really wish for everyone in Robi. And I think Robi will continue to lead great strides, push the boundaries, be a star on the telecommunications, media, and overall converged connectivity landscape in Bangladesh and in the region. And I'm very certain that with this team, with the support of His Excellency, High Commissioner of Malaysia in Bangladesh, and the support that the Office of the High Commissioner has always given the company, the support of the government of Bangladesh, who has always been very responsive, always had an open ear to us as foreign investors, as well as to the needs of the management here on the ground, that Robi will be certainly one of the leading providers in this country. And I'll be certainly cheering you on from not too far. It's only 2.5, 3 hours away, and look forward to great things, and best wishes to all of you. And thank you again for many, many happy years of fellowship and brotherhood and sisterhood. So thank you very much.